A piano in the house. The ego can't dance to the song of truth. There's a piano in the house, but it doesn't play music. It plays the unspoken, the unspeakable. The truth that's been gagged by politeness, buried by performance, and disfigured by fear. And when it plays, masks fall. Fitzgerald Fortune, the theatre critic with a venomous wit and a wounded child inside, buys the piano not to celebrate his wife, but to control the atmosphere, to manipulate. But Spirit has a sense of irony. The very instrument of control becomes the key to his exposure. Fortune, the man who believes himself rich in intellect and status, has no wealth of the heart. His name mocks him. The world calls him Fortune, but he's bankrupt in love, destitute in joy. His cruelty isn't power, it's panic. And when the piano plays, that panic gets louder than his sarcasm. Treasures unlimited. The truth is always available, just unnoticed. He buys the piano from a dusty little shop called Treasures Unlimited. Symbolic much? The store is the subconscious. The piano is the miracle. And the salesman, the unassuming mystical gatekeeper, already begins to shift when the music plays. But Fortune doesn't notice. He's not present. He doesn't yet recognize the piano as a symbol of the Holy Spirit, a voice that bypasses ego entirely and goes straight to the soul. Marvin the servant, the joy that can't be controlled. The first to be unmasked isn't a guest. It's Marvin, the butler. Under Fortune's abuse, Marvin always appeared stoic, glum, and cold. But when the piano plays, he laughs. He says, "You don't bother me, Mr. Fortune, you tickle me." That's joy unbound. That's inner freedom that no master can touch. Marvin reveals a truth. The ego can dominate form, but it cannot reach the mind that chooses joy. And for a moment, Fortune is rattled, not by insult, but by happiness he can't destroy. Two faces, the split mind and the lie of the persona. Fortune observes, we all have two faces. One we wear and one we hide. He thinks he's in control of unmasking others. But the ego always projects its own terror. The entire party becomes a hall of mirrors. And he's the one being seen. Esther, his wife, tells him she's been miserable for 6 years. That she tried to love him, but he only wanted someone to control. She says, "I hate you." And for once, it's not a performance, it's truth. The pain of repression released through honesty. It's the moment Spirit says, "Let my people go." Tina the snowflake. When innocence returns, the ego crumbles. Then comes Marge, loud, comedic, performative. But when the piano plays, Marge disappears and Tina appears. A little girl, a snowflake. I float on the air of a pale blue moon. I'm loved. That's the holy instant. The moment the split mind collapses into memory, into oneness. And what does the ego do with that? It laughs, it ridicules, it recoils. And when the music stops, Tina retreats, Marge returns, and shame takes her place. That shame isn't real. It's the boomerang of ego judgment reasserting itself. But even that moment is holy. It reveals what's buried beneath the bluster. And what wants to be known again. The devil is a child. The final unmasking. Then Gerald is forced to sit at his own piano. The guests turn the mirror on him. And what is revealed? I'm afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of people. I'm just a poor, frightened kid. He confesses to sabotaging Greg's plays out of envy, to hurting Marge out of powerlessness, to rejecting Esther's love because he never learned how to give it. And in his most vulnerable moment, he tells the truth. He doesn't know how to love, only how to hit, like a child. The devil wasn't among the guests. The devil was the child in the man, wrapped in armor. and now that armor lies in pieces at his feet. And then everyone leaves. The guests depart. One by one. Not because they hate him, but because truth has finished its work. There is nothing left to say. The game is over. The ego has been outed. And now the mind must choose. Stay in the house of mirrors, or follow the music out into the light. This episode isn't a warning. It's a demonstration. A parable in perfect tempo. It shows what happens when truth walks into the room with no apologies. When spirit stops asking for permission and starts playing the song. Because the course says, the truth is true and nothing else is true. And when the piano plays, even the critic has to sit down and listen.